Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. Am I too high? Let me get down here. Is that better?
I don't know.
Does this look good? We're good. It's Wednesday, September 23rd. I'm Tori here with Jeff. Jeff, how you doing?
I feel terrific.
You feel terrific?
Yeah.
And Lindsay joins us from home. Lindsay, how are you feeling?
Hey guys.
Hi.
I'm good. I miss the days when I used to be able to adjust my seat in the office, man. I need to come back and see you guys.
Oh, man. Remember how many times I've broken a chair doing that? So many times.
I'm not allowed to speak about that.
Yeah, that's true. Too many times. All right. We were all just actually, we'll be honest, watching this right before we came on air. I'm sure a lot of you were watching as well. The coffin of Ruth Bader Ginsburg is at the Supreme Court. Her former law clerks formed an honor guard as it was carried into the court. She will lie in repose for 2 days there, and the president will visit her on Thursday to pay his respects. And just so you guys know, this is the first woman to be laying in repose and the first Jewish person ever to be laying in repose. And hearing the mourners Kaddish over Ruth Bader Ginsburg brought tears to my eyes, so may she rest. Let's move on to another strong female. Cindy McCain, the widow of Arizona Senator John McCain, has broken ranks with Republicans and is endorsing Joe Biden for president. Big surprise move here. Here's what she said on GMA.
I want a president who has my back on things, politicizing things that shouldn't be politicized. It's not doing me as an American citizen, everyone as an American citizen, any good.
The president tweeted about it this morning saying, quote, "I hardly know Cindy McCain, never a fan of John. Cindy can have Sleepy Joe." Speaking of which, the president took aim at Biden at this rally last night. Let's all take a look and then we'll discuss.
I wonder, in the debate, it'll be him and I on the stage. Is he going to walk in with a mask? I'll be honest, he feels good about the mask, and that's okay. You know what? Whatever makes you feel good. I mean, honestly, what the hell did he spend all that money on the plastic surgery if he's going to cover it up with a mask? Seriously.
Wow. Okay. Let's go back to Cindy McCain endorsing Biden. I knew she was like on his side from the Democratic convention, but fully endorsing him is another big deal. Lindsay, what do you make of this?
Well, I love the tweet that she sent out. She said that John McCain lived by a code, that it was country first and not politics first. You know, he was a veteran, and that's something that he stood on. And I know, Al, and you and I were discussing yesterday about a lot of politicians not standing on their morals.
Right.
And I think John McCain could say that he did so. And so I understand her choice because she probably is looking for somebody that's going to reach across the aisle and really try to make a way and figure out a way to not make politics so divisive. It's really like if you align with one side, there's not one thing the other side can say that'll make you agree, and we want to get out of that state and get into a state of conversation and growth.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you. Jeff, they met because he was assigned, John McCain, as a military aide as they traveled together, and they became best of friends. They would picnic on Joe Biden's lawn. I miss those times when people could actually go across the aisle and be friends.
Yeah, you watch old videos of, like, you know, the passing of the torch from president to president. They're shaking hands and they're congratulating them. I noticed that with John F. Kennedy when he first became president. Was it over Nixon at that time? Or Nixon was after
Kennedy,
him?
Nixon resigned and Eisenhower,
whenever he
Johnson,
came into office, he was shaking hands. So it just kind of stuck out to me that that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
That's the point I'm trying to make. But it's going back to John McCain and his wife. Listen, I think she's feeling what a lot of the country's feeling, and you could correct me if you think I'm wrong here, Tori. She's not voting for Joe Biden. She's not voting for President Trump. And I think President Trump is running against himself in this election. It doesn't matter who you put on that side. It has no indifference to anybody. You're either like Trump or you hate him and you want somebody else in that office. And I think that's exactly what she's doing. She's crossing over for good reason, because he doesn't like her husband, and he was a great man. I think John McCain was a great man, like Lindsay was saying, and he puts that man down. So, of course, I'm going to go vote for somebody who believes in him, or in this case, not Donald Trump.
That's a really good point. I will say that John McCain represents a Republican, a moderate group of people who really believe in sort of fiscally conservative views, lower taxes, and good, honest politics, meaning there wasn't this hatred. And I think she speaks to a lot of moderates, Lindsay, that actually could sway because of the decency that is being brought back, just like Jeff said. Don't you think?
And you said yesterday something that I thought was so profound that I didn't know, is that Ruth Bader Ginsburg, we were just speaking about her, was good friends, if not best friends, in the Supreme Court with Justice Scalia, which I think is so important to note. It's like, you know, we have to get things done. And no matter what, when there's a Republican president, usually the House is controlled by Democrats. Then when there's a Democratic president, the Senate is controlled by Republicans. And so we just get into this tango where everything is either reversed back to what it was when we changed positions of power of the presidency. And so it's just, I think that Jeff had a great point saying that, you know, it's really Trump against Trump, because I think that President Trump has put himself in a position where, just like when we just saw his rally, he's talking to his base and making those jokes about Joe Biden. You saw that I chuckled a little bit. I think that that is what he's doing. He's intentionally trying to double down, and so those people go out and vote for him. And if people don't like that and are offended by that, they are going to double down and just vote for Joe Biden. But I don't think in the same way that it's a vote for Trump, it's a vote for Biden. It's just a vote against Trump.
I completely agree with you guys. Let us know where your head is and where you're voting and what you think. And yes, someone asked where Ruth Bader Ginsburg will be buried. She will be buried at Arlington National Cemetery. How has this past year changed your relationship? Oh boy, is this a big story. All right, a new survey is out looking at how the pandemic, social unrest, and the election is affecting couples, and there's some surprising results. First up, couples reported having less sex this year. It was about a 5% drop compared to last year. But when asked about the relationship, 56% said the pandemic made them appreciate their partners more. Next, couples said they are talking more about political and social issues this year. And finally, men reported that they feel like they're tackling more of the housework. When asked, men reported splitting it 50-50. But women, on the other hand, said they did 65% of the chores, while their partners only did 35%. So there's a disconnect here. Jeff, talk to me about chores and sex. How has that been going for you?
Well, I think, obviously, if you're home more, you're going to have sex more, right? I think do the math, right?
Even
you're around the other person more, chances are you're going to, you know what I mean. So, you know, I get in trouble every day on this show. You can't say that.
Even though they say they're having less sex now.
Who said that?
That's the survey. They're having less sex.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
You know, Jeff doesn't listen to surveys.
He doesn't believe
I don't believe in any surveys.
He does not care about any study.
My house, it's more. I don't care. And because for the reasons I just told you. And listen, I guess I'm one of those male chauvinist pigs that think I'm doing everything 50-50, because I am helping around the house more. I cook every single meal in our house. I enjoy doing the work. It's not like it's work to me. I enjoy doing that. And if my wife needs help with something, I give her help. She does take care of the children more than I do, I would say. But I'm saying it's 50-50. You chauvinist pig.
Okay, don't do the greasy fingers. Let's be honest.
Jumps on Daily Blast Live again. My keys are stuck together.
No one's keys are stuck together. I need you to be clear. I always make fun of you, but I will say you were an incredibly gracious husband and father about doing housework.
Wow,
and I think
thank you.
Very gracious, but I'm not sure you're the norm. Lindsay, is Colin? Colin is also your partner.
Colin's a little
great
cutie.
Cook. Yeah, what do you think? Is he doing 50-50?
Colin is working from home right next to me and staring at me so hard. There's about to be a hole in the side of my head. So I can't even answer this question comfortably.
Get him in there. Let's say hi.
He said, get him.
Colin, get in
But why is it, how come, Lindsay, how come men could say 50-50 to make it equal and women got to bump that up a little bit?
Because I think
because naturally, I can speak for myself. I have way more OCD, and so cleaning up happens more often. Where Colin's like a deep cleaner, like might throw clothes, and then 3 days later, when he sees my head's about to explode, he'll do a deep spring clean.
Colin, just shout out 50-50 in the background.
Colin, they want you to shout out 50-50. He's not doing it.
One time, I just want to say very quickly, I overheard Colin talking when they were getting the lighting set up, and they go, the lighting's great, and Colin goes, that light is coming straight from me. From me to you.
We got to get him on camera. He's
so
a cutie.
I love him. All right, well, before we go, we do have to mention for former Chicago Bears star and Hall of Famer Gale Sayers. He died today at the age of 77. 50-50. He said 50-50.
There you go. There you go.
He was considered one of the greatest running backs in history, but his career was cut short by a knee injury. His story was infamously told in the 1971 TV movie Brian's Song. Jeff, talk to me about what this means.
When I say Brian's Song, I almost want to cry. I don't understand.
And sorry, we meant famous, not infamous. We apologize for that. Go ahead.
And I don't. Gale Sayers is a legend in Chicago. I'm from Chicago. He's a legend there. Today's a sad day for the Chicago Bears community and the city of Chicago. But what a legend he is. He was the youngest NFL player ever inducted to the NFL Hall of Fame at age 34 years old. The Kansas Comet, and he was a great Chicago Bear. The Kansas Comet was his nickname. He went to Kansas University.
Wow.
But what a great Chicago Bear. And if you guys haven't seen Brian's song, especially in today's day and age, those two were best friends that had nothing but great things to say each other. You know, Brian Piccolo died of cancer, and it's just it makes me want to cry. Go watch that movie, and I think, you know, it doesn't matter what color you are, everyone could be brothers like they were.
Oh,
what a great example.
The Bears. Lindsay, Colin, stick around. Coming up on DBL, Carol Baskin lives to dance another day on Dancing with the Stars, but now she could be in some unexpected legal trouble. Plus, Time Magazine unveils its annual list of the 100 most influential people, from celebrities to global newsmakers. Is it the most woke set of recipients ever? We'll be right back.
Daily Blast Live wants to add sparkle to your life. We're giving away the official Daytime Emmy gift bag, filled with luxury products worth more than $5,000. Here's how you can win. Send us a video telling us about your quarantine, how your life has changed, new hobbies, or plans you had to cancel, and what you look forward to the most once the pandemic is over. The winner will be announced Friday, September 25th, and become the owner of the official Daytime Emmy gift bag.
Welcome back to DBL. Time Magazine came out with its annual top 100 most influential people list today. I am not on it. No surprise here. Dr. Anthony Fauci made one of the 8 covers. Talk show host Jimmy Kimmel penned his tribute and praised him for delivering the truth and not being pressured by politicians. Other leaders who got a cover, the women who started the Black Lives Matter movement. Time called rapper Megan Thee Stallion a pioneer. Actress Taraji P. Henson described her as a free spirit and the epitome of tenacity. And nurse Amy O'Sullivan is also gracing one of the covers. She treated the first COVID-19 patient at her hospital, contracted the virus herself, but then returned to work 2 weeks later. Now, there were some people who made the list but were not featured on the cover, okay? So they included President Trump, Attorney General Bill Barr, and Chief Justice John Roberts. So I want to take this to Lindsay and Jeff and ask, and this is hard for me to say, but was this too woke and too left-leaning of the covers? There's not one person of the right-wing establishment at all on any of the covers. Jeff, what do you think?
Well, this is media pushing its agenda, right? I think they're all very well deserving. You know, everyone on the cover I'm talking about. But listen, I'm so over it. Everyone gets a first place trophy. It's person's time of the year, not people's times
no,
people
it's
of the year.
100 most influential people.
One person gets the cover. There's a cover of a magazine, and one person gets it. Not everybody gets a first place trophy. This way, you don't get into arguments like this. You put one person on there, and then that's it.
Go ahead, Liz. Go ahead.
Is this something that happens every year? There's many covers, or is this year the first time?
It's become a very
No, it's the first time.
Yeah,
it's the first time because the generation that came up, who everyone got first place trophies, is now giving out covers of magazines, and everybody gets one.
Lindsay,
Sorry.
what's your take?
Well, listen, put it that way, Jeff. Yes, I think that one person should get the cover and they need to make a decision if that's the case. I need to look at the historical record of how many times 8 people got covers. But I do think that when you open the whole list, Tori, and name the other people that are on the list that are not just left-leaning or not just for social organizations, then it's a good variety, like The Weeknd, you know, some artists. And so hopefully maybe everybody can get a cover next year. And I'll go the opposite of Jeff and say all 100 should get a cover.
All 3 of us should be on there.
You get a cover. You get a cover. And I do want to make it clear, this isn't the Times Person of the Year, which comes out, and it is one person, and they've done people that are...
So what's the title of this one?
This is 100 most influential people. So there is going to be a variety of people, but they just chose very left-leaning people. I've got to be honest.
Pick one.
Very angry.
Just pick. I'm so tired of it.
Or they can do a cover with a little montage,
a
like
little collage,
20
if you
people
will.
on there.
There you go.
Yeah, a little collage.
But what I liked about like Time Magazine of the Year is what they picked people who are actually, doesn't matter if they're good or bad. Like Adolf Hitler made the list at one point, and he was the most influential. So I could have seen more diversity on the cover of different political leanings, I think.
And I was a little confused about Jimmy Kimmel penned his what?
People wrote articles for each cover.
I was so confused. I'm like, Jimmy Kimmel's one of them?
Coming up on DBL is Tiger King star Carol Baskin in the middle of a new legal battle as she dances her way into our hearts. Don't miss the dancing drama coming up next. Welcome back to DBL. Carol Baskin. When will I not say her name? Well, she was saved from elimination last night on Dancing with the Stars, but the Tiger King activist is in more hot water. So first, let's talk about this. Carol danced the Viennese waltz to the song "What's New, Pussycat?" We get the joke. We get it. And was placed in the bottom 2, but the judges voted to keep her around to next week. Meantime, the family of her missing former husband, Don Lewis, is now actually suing Carol for defamation over the remarks she made about on the show about his disappearance and her alleged involvement in his death. During last night's show, Carol actually broke down when talking about all of this negative attention she's received. Let's take a look at that.
I've seen what the media can do to you. And I hate that I try even harder to be strong in their presence. I keep it inside and wait until everybody's gone before I can break down. And I don't know how to make it better.
Jeff? Everyone's laughing. Lindsay's laughing. Jeff?
No, let's go to Lindsay first.
I was trying to be serious.
Dancing with the Stars loves pulling these storylines out of people.
They love this. Tell me what you're thinking, Liz.
And I'm trying so hard to believe that Carol Baskin didn't allegedly kill her husband. I'm just trying to word this because I know she's not been convicted of anything. But come on, man. I saw that Tiger King and like, I don't know how, I understand the family watching this woman parade around the screen in front of millions of people is annoyed by that when she, in their minds, is the #1 suspect who killed their father or, you know, ex-husband, whoever, somebody that they love, and she's parading and dancing around your screen in nice hair and frilly, you know, glittery dresses. I understand why they're upset. Her crying, I mean, save the tears, like somebody's missing. Just like, please.
I kind of agree with you.
You didn't have to participate in this show.
Right, you didn't have to be here in the first place. And Jeff, too, there's a weird dichotomy, am I right, of like, this is all fun and games and everyone's laughing, and then there's like a real family of like tragedy.
And they're taking their money and they're making commercials and things about it because they want some closure. You have to just think about that family in general. They want some closure. And I've said it on past shows when we announced the cast for Dancing with the Stars. It's like people who have allegations against them from 20, 30, 40 years ago have lost their jobs this year because of just those allegations. But in this case, Carol Baskin gets on with Dancing with the Stars. If I was that family, I'd be furious and probably be doing the same thing.
I completely agree. Like, it's like we go from one end of the spectrum to the other because it's a real life missing person for them. So let us know what you think. A lot of you are writing in funny things. Coming up on DBL, terrifying moments when an iceberg, oh God, I hate things in the ocean, when an iceberg literally flips over with people on it. We'll show you the shocking surprise coming up next. Whoa.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Jeff, I hate you. Welcome back to DBL. Before we go, we have got a crazy viral video for you. I don't like things in the ocean, so I'm going to look away. Two men have a close call with an iceberg near the North Pole. So the pair were climbing on it, oy vey's mir, when it actually began to flip over. They desperately tried to cling on before falling into the ice-cold water. The iceberg nearly falls on top of them, but luckily a wave swept them clear of it.
Why? Is it a great feat to get up 10 more feet from where you're at?
Well, you know what they say. Why do we climb mountains? Because they're there. That's the whole.
Well, climbing a mountain's a feat. Climbing up 10 more feet?
Not that
great.
Not that great.
Lesson well learned.
All right, I guess.
I got a little chip on my shoulder.
You got a little anger here. All right. Caroline from Facebook wrote us and said, I like your show when you don't take sides on politics. Appreciate that. Judy says, but Biden is doing the same thing by putting down Trump. Donald Trump has already shown us what he could do for the country in the last 4 years. What is Biden's platform seriously?
I like when you don't take sides during politics. So let's read some comments talking about taking sides in politics.
That's a good point.
Listen, we are less than a week away from the first debate, so I think that is going to be juicy and interesting, and we'll see exactly what that commenter just said, like exactly where Biden stands on whether or not he's going to meet Trump, President Trump where he's at, or take a different road.
They should put that on pay-per-view and make some money for some people.
Oh, hell
because
yeah.
I would sign up.
I would too. DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, Colin.